welcome back to my channel. So today I have a much requested video following my best cherry perfumes video, which is on the best cherry blossom fragrances. So I'm going to be letting you know all the best buys when it comes to cherry blossom that are available right now. If you're new here, then hello, welcome. I'm all about perfumes. I have hundreds of videos like this going through whole perfume notes, new releases, ranges, as well as my blog that has loads of hundreds of articles on, so do check them all out. And if you're a regular, do make sure you're subscribed and give the video a thumbs up, that really helps me. And as always, I'll leave links in the description box where you can get all these perfumes I mentioned all around the world, as well as where you can get my fragrances, Empress, Aphrodite, and my super concentrated soy wax candles. And do let me know in the comments if you'd like me to release a cherry blossom perfume one day. Cool, so cherry blossom and cherry are often sometimes confused, particularly in like the marketing of a fragrance. They are really quite different scents. You know, cherry is obviously fruity, sweet, can be quite warm and autumnal, whereas for me, cherry blossom is definitely springtime, very light, refreshing. Any blossom fragrance note is usually very refreshing and light and delicate. And as a result, a lot of cherry blossom perfumes are eau de toilettes. So first up, there are a number of brands that do have dedicated cherry blossom scents. So the Rituals brand, this is actually the Fleur de Himalayas, but they actually have one called Rituals of Sakura, which Sakura is Japanese for cherry blossom. And they have a whole range of cherry blossom products, quite affordable. They all are quite relatively light, but you can sort of kit yourself out in the whole range. Similarly, the Body Shop, they used to have a perfume called Japanese Cherry Blossom. It's discontinued, but I'll see if I can still find it and leave the links below. But they now have a newer range called Glowing Cherry Blossom that doesn't come in a perfume. I think it's just a body spray and body products. But again, those are all things you can layer with a cherry blossom perfume to really bring it out. Also, L'Occitane, their Fleur de Cerise Cherry Blossom. I have their body lotion in this, their hand creams in this. I love these tube hand creams that get smaller as you use them, so they fit well in your handbag. And they do have an eau de toilette in the cherry blossom, and they have different limited editions with different notes added, like fruity notes. But they all, you know, the Rituals one, the Body Shop, and L'Occitane, they're all a very fresh hint of sweetness, hint of greenness, predominantly very light floral scent. For me, cherry blossom kind of reminds me a little bit of a peony fragrance or a very light rose. It's very innocent, it's very refreshing, it's very springtime. So in terms of fragrances, so this is a good example of where the marketing or the name doesn't quite represent the fragrance. So I think it was last year, Christina Aguilera released a perfume called Cherry Noir. Comes with this big poof. These are very affordable. They start for maybe like £12 or something. And even though it's called Cherry Noir, it's not a cherry fragrance, it's a cherry blossom fragrance. It's relatively sweet. It has some brown sugar in there, and it also has a plum note in, which gives it some fruitiness, but predominantly it is cherry blossom that I get. Yeah, light, but it has a little bit of depth behind it when compared with like the L'Occitane, the Body Shop, which are just very light florals. This one has those other notes in there giving it some support, but it's so affordable. It doesn't matter if you're not a fan of Christina Aguilera or whatever. If you're looking for a very affordable cherry blossom, I do recommend this. They have a little 15ml spray. I think this is 30 or 20, and there's a bigger size as well. One that has been discontinued, but you can still find it some places. Like I said, I'll find it and leave the links for you guys, is Escada's Cherry in Japan. Again, this doesn't have a cherry fruit note in, it's a cherry blossom note. Japan, of course, famous for their cherry blossom in the springtime, and this fragrance really celebrates that, and it's got a hint of warm tonka bean underneath, a hint of jasmine as well, which really helps support the cherry blossom. It is an eau de toilette, but it is a really pretty cherry blossom, and I do recommend this one along with the Christina Aguilera one. This one is discontinued, so it will disappear. The Escada summer perfumes, they release a different one every year, and they really do disappear after the year that they've been released. Guerlain have a nice cherry blossom in their Aqua Allegoria range. This is a range inspired by nature. They're really pretty, good quality. It was their Coconut Fizz perfume that inspired my Aphrodite fragrance. And it's called Flora Cherrysa, and it combines cherry blossom with a watermelon note, which is really fun. And it's definitely got some body, a bit of violet, bit of musk, which makes it very feminine. But the watermelon is relatively unique. There's not that many watermelon perfumes out there, and it adds a fun tropical feel to the cherry blossom, adds that fruitiness. It does sort of fade and it becomes the cherry blossom, which is the main note, which I guess is what you want. But it's probably one of the better quality ones in this range, but it is still an eau de toilette. Of a similar nature kind of is the Dior Privé range. They have a Sakura fragrance. These fragrances from Dior are incredibly expensive, £200 I think. And you know, I'm not sure this is worth £200. I'm not sure I recommend it. Unless you really do fall in love with it. You could buy all of these other perfumes and still have change from £200. But obviously it's Dior and it's pretty, and they're not sold everywhere, the Privé range. I do have a video on the Privé range. I'll leave it linked below. But yeah, if you're a fan of them, then I guess this is their best cherry blossom perfume. It is beautiful, but insanely expensive. And I find the performance is not like a strong eau de parfum at all. Another one that I recommend for a slightly fruity cherry blossom is from Salvatore Ferragamo, and it's their Signorina in Fiore perfume. This is a range that I think is really underrated. You don't see it talked about that much. I do have an article going through all the versions of Signorina, but this one in Fiore is cherry blossom with like a fruity pomegranate and sorbet note. So it feels quite uplifting, summery. I love perfumes that have this sorbet note in, because it's like, you know, like a sugary, really fresh, thirst quenching sorbet in Italy in the summer. It kind of gives me that feeling, and then the cherry blossom adds that floral femininity. You can usually find these reduced on offer. I'll find it at good prices for you guys and leave it linked below. But it's a bit of a hidden gem when it comes to cherry blossom perfumes in my view. One that was discontinued a long time ago, Calvin Klein Endless Euphoria. If I can find it, I'll leave the link, but it'll be very hard to find. But that one was a cherry blossom perfume as well, so I wanted to throw it in there. But as you can see, there aren't a huge amount of cherry blossom perfumes when compared to the cherry note. I think because they are really difficult to make, project and last, then perhaps brands aren't really going for it, because I guess people don't get that same satisfaction of being able to smell it on themselves for ages. I don't even know if it is possible to make a good cherry blossom perfume that really lasts, but I could look into it. If you would like to see that from me, let me know. I do have ideas around creating like a blossomy perfume. I really liked the apple blossom one that came out from Floral Street earlier this year, but again, I find it didn't last that well. So maybe I could make a really blossomy perfume that was like an intense eau de parfum, like all the perfumes I make. But yeah, let me know. I'm just sort of thinking out loud here. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's any other ones you'd add to this list as well, and what your favorite cherry blossom is. But that's it, guys. They'll all be linked in the description. Do give the video a thumbs up, and thanks so much for watching as always. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.